Singing sweet country music makes me wish that I was there. It's been more than a year now.
Hello folks, welcome to another edition of the Southern Prospector Show. Today Jake and I are going to be taking you back to Indiana, to a place called Cottonwood Trails Gold Camp, which is located about 8 miles south of Greensburg, Indiana. It's owned and operated by a man named Jim McIntyre. He's a fellow GPAA member. There's a whole lot of good creek there to prospect on, and quite a bit of glacial drift gold. Also, during today's show, we're going to be pointing out some of the things you need to look for when searching for your gold in Indiana. We're also going to show you how to identify some of the rocks that are brought down from Canada with a glacial till. Several points in the show, we're going to be showing you these examples of these rocks. And hopefully we can teach y'all how to find some glacial gold in Indiana. As a prospector, one of the neat things is you get to learn a lot. You further your knowledge in prospecting by learning geology, how rocks are created, different formations of rock. This can all go toward helping you find your gold. A lot of the rocks you're seeing here are what we would call glacial till from a glacial moraine or an esker. What that amounts to basically is when your glaciers came down, they bulldozed all this material down this way from Canada. The last ice age, approximately 19,000 years ago, brought all this material down from Canada, and it is loaded with rocks that are not indigenous to Indiana, also gold and diamonds. And that's where this Indiana gold and diamonds come from. Now what we've done, we've found this deposit. It's an old glacial till deposit or ancient tertiary stream bed. What led us to this spot? A lot of people ask, why do you choose to dig or pan here for gold? Well, one of the telltale signs you look for are pieces of quartz and pieces of things that don't belong. Geologically, this piece of granite does not belong in the state of Indiana. There's no volcanoes here. So this had to be imported from the glacial drift or the glacial flood. When you locate something like this right here, it's a good place to dig for your gold. Now, what we've found is quite a few pieces of quartz as well. And also, back here behind me, the sand and the dirt has went from a blonde river wash sand down to a real dark red. Behind me here is limestone. Now this is not a known gold-bearing rock. Where limestone comes from is compressed silt and plant life matter, animal matter. All the central United States used to be a prehistoric ocean. And when that ocean bed compacted over millions of years, limestone was formed from that. But normally, limestone does not contain gold. The geologic formation here behind me is just layers of limestone. And they're, depending on where you go in Indiana, they can be gold on the limestone or in boil holes and pockets in areas where the limestone cuts across, or is cut across by water and exposes the bedrock. You can have bedrock limestone. It usually weathers away pretty quickly. It's pretty soft, as you can see. But normally, if you can find a pocket in a stream bed of limestone, that pocket may contain gold. A pocket or a boil hole or a crack and crevice, and you can always find gold if you look down in those. That's where those heavies get stuck and collected, and use a sucker or and you can use a suction nozzle, a hand dredge, or a regular dredge and clean those out and sometimes get some good gold. The weekend we were shooting this show, my good buddy Jake was doing some prospecting of his own. He was prospecting for a good, cool place to lay down, and it looked like he found it. Cottonwood Trails Gold Camp has nearly 2 miles of stream bed that you can prospect on Sand Creek. This creek runs just south of Greensburg, Indiana. I'm not sure where the headwaters of it is. But this drain's a great big area that has a lot of glacial material in it. As you can see, even the smallest prospectors can find a good time there in the creek. There's plenty of things for everybody to enjoy: fishing, playing in the water, or looking for that Indiana gold. This piece of granite boulder definitely doesn't belong in Indiana. It always pays to keep your eyes open for any unusual geologic formations. If you see rocks that are not common to that place, investigate a little further. You may find out you're actually looking at a glacial till pile. And in glacial till piles, you can find gold. We've done our sluice boxing now. All that's left now is clean out our sluice box. See how much gold we got out of that tertiary stream bed over there. So we'll clean that up and show you what we found. We've cleaned up our sluice box, and now we're down to the one piece of equipment that every miner has to have, the old trusty gold pan. We're going to pan this out, and when we get done, we'll probably skip through the tape here, and when I get this done, we'll show you what we've got. I've seen some good flakes in there. This place up here, they call it Cottonwood Trails Gold Camp, about 2 miles of creek here. A lot of it's on bedrock. It cuts through several ancient tertiary riverbeds. You can see all kinds of glacial river washed rock and things of that nature in here, as well as your common Indiana limestone. There's a lot of quartz, there's a lot of gneiss, there's a lot of boulders made out of granite, so you're in a pretty good place. This whole place drains several parts of the glacial moraine, and when we get this panned out, hopefully we'll have some gold. Quite a bit of fine flower gold in here. We'll get this close for the camera to see. I don't know if you can see this or not on camera. Hard to do 3 jobs at once here. But there's all kinds of Indiana glacial gold. Get behind the camera here so I can see what you all are seeing. Let's see here. There we go. There's all kinds of fine flower gold in there. Some of it's pretty good size. You can see from the size of my finger here. It's not the biggest gold in the world. You're not going to get rich off this kind of gold. But for people to say that there's no good gold here is completely wrong. If you'll notice all the heavy black sands and hematite right there, they're bigger, chunkier pieces instead of so much small. There's a lot of heavy-duty mineralization in that pocket of that old tertiary stream bed material I showed you. But this right here, folks, some of these are actually what I'd call picker size for Indiana. They can actually be picked up, and you can hear them hit the pan. You hear that? That's what you call a picker. But this is some pretty good materials, piece of iron in there. But this is pretty good Indiana gold. And again, this is from Cottonwood Gold Camp, Cottonwood Trails Gold Camp, just about 8 miles south of Greensburg, Indiana. We'll be doing a commercial for these guys. A real nice man owns it. It's a real kid-friendly place. A lot of kids come down here and swim and play. You can bring your fishing pole with you, because I've seen a bass up there I know was probably 16 inches long, going about 4 pounds. So real good fishing up here too. There's a lot of bedrock exposed, so you can get in there and suction dredge the cracks and crevices. And it's a good time for the whole family.